Shalom, everyone. So today's topic is going to be fundamental foundational ideas in Judaism. This is based on Rav Noach Weinberg of Blessed Memories class ABCs of Judaism. I got most of my stuff from him, but I've adjusted it over the years to be for a more ADHD crowd. We were going to do, instead of going through 5 different things, we're going to go through 3. First fundamental foundational concept in Judaism. What that means, of course, is just like any foundation, it's something that is the bottom, the base. You build everything on top. The stronger your foundation, the stronger your structure, so too intellectually. So the first most foundational idea in all of Judaism, and arguably for all of life, if, this is a big if you care about truth. I know that sounds kind of silly and obvious, like doesn't everybody care about truth? Not necessarily. Some people think of truth as a power structure or something like that. But for those of us who think that truth is a value, well, you're in luck. Because the first most foundational idea in all of Judaism is, in fact, that truth is arguably the highest value, that we should all be searchers and seekers for truth. Truth, in Hebrew, emet, really means what's real. I'm a realist, meaning I believe that there is a reality. It's not just an illusion, not just a figment of someone's imagination. There's something really out there, in here, everywhere around. Do the hokey pokey and turn yourself about, right? The universe is real, the existence is real, and truth is understanding of that reality. And so I want to know what's real, because that's how I'm going to get the most out of life. That's how I'm going to be able to be successful and avoid problems and issues. Truth is a value, and it's arguably the highest of all values. Everything else will come afterwards. How will I know how to have a great relationships? I have to know how relationships function. What's the truth? Marriage, children, money, health, everything. Try to figure out how the world actually works and not fall into the illusion. So truth seeking is the first fundamental value. Now, what comes out of that, just basic logical things that flow from that, is that if I really want to know what's true, that means I need to be humble, intellectually humble. What one of my friends calls epistemological humility. It's a cute idea. Epistemology is the study of knowledge. I just call it intellectual humility. I don't necessarily know what's already true. I may not know anything. And so I'm open. I'm curious. I listen. I question. That is all a function of being humble, because I'm actually looking for truth. I want to know how the world actually works. Okay, so that's all number 1. Number 2 is a direct outgrowth of number 1. I want to know what's true. So what's the most important truth that you could ever discover? Or if you put it in terms of questions, what's the most important question you could ever ask? So you can make an argument that the most important question you could ever ask in your life is, what is the purpose of life? Why am I here? Why does anything exist at all? What's the meaning and purpose behind existence? It's a very big difference between people who think that life has purpose and people who think that life does not have purpose. Even if you don't know what your purpose is, but if you think that there is one out there to be discovered, then you'll be searching and you'll be open when someone tries to tell you what it is. You go, oh, you know what life's purpose is? I'd like to hear that, because I don't know if I know what it is yet. Now, Judaism says there's a few different ways to approach this, but probably the most straightforward way to look at it, from Rabbi Luzzatto, the Ramchal, in his book Mesilas Yesharim, Path of the Just, he says, paragraph 1, chapter 1, he says, the purpose of life is lehis aneg al Hashem, to derive pleasure from God, from the infinite. And he explores this more deeply in other of his books and also in this one. It really means developing a close relationship with our Creator. Judaism teaches, especially from the philosophical and mystical approaches, that God is all good. He wants to give. And what does he want to give us? The most we could possibly get. What is the most that God could possibly give and we could possibly get is a relationship with him, because he's the infinite source of all. And so we were created for pleasure, and specifically the ultimate pleasure of connection, relationship to our Creator. So that's all part of number 2. Try to figure out what purpose is. And Judaism says the purpose of life is to connect deeply and meaningfully in a loving relationship with our Creator, which is the ultimate pleasure of existence that he created us for. Okay, it's a mouthful. Number 3, and the last one we're going to deal with today, is Torah. Torah, it's not just a book on a shelf, but it comes from the Hebrew word horaot. That's where we get the word mora, a teacher, a mora, female teacher. It's teachings. In our prayers in the morning, we say Torah's Chaim or Torat Chaim. It's instructions or teachings for life. The Torah is, according to Judaism, the Torah is the instruction manual given by our Creator to us to help us, to instruct us on how to understand our purpose, be able to fulfill it, both as humans and as Jews, and even as an individual, I need to look to Torah for guidance on how to get the most out of life. Okay, so quick review. 3 fundamental foundational ideas in Judaism. Search for truth, which means you're going to be asking questions. Most important question is, what's the purpose of life? Which Judaism says is connecting to God and getting the ultimate pleasure of existence. And the third is Torah, is the instruction manual on how to actually accomplish all those things. All right? Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.